Okay. So I wasn't originally gonna make this because again I haven't played as every character, so obviously, again this is based on me reading the text, not me playing the character. Obviously, some of these I have played as, so obviously those characters I will actually talk about. But obviously, let's get this out of the way. Dandy and Dial absolutely F tier. You can't play as them unless you're playing as roleplay, which again, this game's not just roleplay. I think a lot of Dandy players actually just think the game is just roleplay when it's not. Okay, now we get Pebble. This is based on me reading. I haven't unlocked Pebble yet, so we are gonna talk about Pebble. Pebble has 3-star skill check, 4 movement skill. Again, if it's because you forget. Actually, no, it's 5. 5 movement speed, 4 stamina, 3 stealth, and 1 extra resistance speed. Okay, now I want to really badly want to know why the fuck do you have to play as Toodles to get this character when they only have the same extra resistance speed? I really badly want to know. Okay, he has 2 hearts, but obviously because he's a main, which if you don't know, if you either never played Danny's World or I guess if you forgot, mains mains don't have 3 health, they have 2. So a medkit would be completely useless for him. But a bandage would be absolute busted for him. Also, apparently we have his last name. I did not know that was his last name. You know what? I'm still going to call him Pebble for the rest of my life. His abilities, which are mainly the reason why you want to play as him. Basically, he has Speak. This toon can bark loudly, just decreasing his stealth value by -40. Not as good as Shrimp Pose, but good. Basically, like a weaker air horn. And this ability has a 6-second cooldown. He also has a passive called Fetch. This toon can sniff out items, causing them to highlight when in the toon's vision. Basically, this basically just thinks of Cole's ability, but only for Pebble. If you obviously don't know, his main role for the community is basically to become a distractor. The only other toon I believe that outspeeds him is Looney, but Looney has to get to 2 health. I mean, get to 1 health just to outspeed him. Pebble is also, I believe, one of the small. I think the only other character that's smaller than Pebble is, I believe, Toodles. And obviously, yeah, the main downfall with Pebble is his 3 stealth, which obviously makes it so that toons that have higher stealth, toons that have lower stealth will always get the twisteds off of him, which meaning he has to use his ability. So problem is you would really there's 2 items you absolutely have to necessary if you're going to play Pebble the correct way, or I guess the correct way for players' vision, which are the dog plush and running shoes. So you can't use the item that lowers your active abilities timer. But I really do think Pebble's still really good. I think really the only downfall of Pebble is really the stealth. And I really do think they should have easily just lowered that, put that in extra just speed. Because I really don't think it makes any sense why he has stealth of 3. The only reason why I can think of is because he's small, that's why. But I do think Pebble does. Oh yeah, this is the other video. Sorry, I forgot to delete this one. if you want to check out that tier list and the card elevator card tier list, watch the other video. Yeah, Pebble I think deserves to be. The only downfall I really think of Pebble is really just the stealth. I think he really is like the best boy. The stealth and the 2 health, and only having 2 health. Cole is meant to be, I guess, Pebble's counterpart. Basically has, I believe, almost the exact same stealth stats, but with, I believe, one less something. I can't remember. I'll have to go look to compare the two. Has one less movement speed, and has one less movement speed, but increases that but has one less skill check to be an extradition speed, which I don't know why they just didn't do that with her stealth. If she had a lower stealth than Pebble, I think maybe she would be a decent fit. But problem is she doesn't, and so she has and she doesn't have an ability that really helps her out. Her ability is fine. It's basically what Pebble's ability what Pebble's old ability used to be, which was sniff out items and basically show it to all players. They decided to get rid of that and give it to Cole for some reason. And originally this ability used to be worse because his ability used to have 100-second cooldown for some reason. They decided to buff it. Rework it into be like 30 seconds instead of 100. Still, I really don't think Cole is that good. I do think her counterpart is so much better than her in every other way. And I don't think there's a certain if that one ticket was a third item slot, then I would say maybe she's worth using. But since that's not an option, I really do think she's absolutely deserves to be probably in bad tier. You can easily distract as her. I've done it before, but I really do think bad tier is what she belongs into. Man, they really badly want me to talk to them about mains first. Holy fuck. Sprout. Okay, we can get rid of these 2 guys now. Sprout basically has, if you forgot, 2 skill check and 2 skill checks, 2 in extradition speed. Has a sprint of 3, so same problem with Pebble and Cole. But has really good movement speed and stamina. To the point where he has I think the highest stamina in the game, besides behind. I think the only other character that has a higher stamina. I think the only other character that has the equal stamina, I believe, is the Nightman. Not the Nightman, but Baudette or something I can't remember. But he has a really high stamina, but has, obviously you can tell, not that good in doing generators. His main thing is that his abilities. Basically, this toon can heal a target that heals by 1 health at cost of 100 tapes for each sprout. This costs an additional 50 tapes. So obviously, if you have more than 1 sprout, this will cost 150 tapes. And the cooldown is increased by 30 seconds. Okay. And again, the cooldown is already 100 seconds, which, yeah, with certain items, you absolutely, you don't, with Sprout, Sprout is more like a back liner for distracting role / support for healing. His other ability basically makes it so that he can see where other toons' health are, and the heart does change to figure out how much health each toon has. So if it's full heart, it's their full health. If it's if it's half broken, they have one. They have one heart gone. If it's full broken, they have two. They have one heart remaining. I think Sprout really does belong in best here. Blot, damn, they. What the? I wanted to talk about a couple other tunes that I actually really play as, but I guess we're going to talk about. I guess the beginning of this video is mainly just tunes I've either not played as or tunes I. I guess let's talk about him. Blot. Blot it has a skill check of 1. Edge resistance speed of 2, staying problem with the other tunes. I guess he has 200 as well. I guess he is tied with Sprout. But basically, has like the same thing as Sprout. Problem is, he is supposed to be a backliner distractor, and his ability isn't really that. It's like decent. So basically, Blob Jr. acts like as a dummy. He'll go. Basically, the dummy will distract the Twisteds. He has 1 health, so obviously, after the Twisteds go after it, Blob Jr. will immediately die. And the thing has like a 60-second cooldown for each. And for some reason, it goes up in tapes, depending on how many blobs you have. Which then only costs like 10 tapes. It's not like a fucking huge bag deal. Problem is, to unlock Blob, is you have to complete 100 complete Looney and Yada. That is the problem with him. I really think for what you have to go through to unlock him, he's just not that useful. And I really do think if you want to play his same role but be better, I think you really just have to play a Sprout. I do think he's meh. But I do think he's just not as good as the other characters. Obviously, again, these are my opinion, and also a lot of these tunes I have not played as, so obviously a couple of these tunes, yes, couple of these tunes could be absolute busted, and I don't own them. Boxton, we can get this out of the way, I think he's horrible, but I don't think any other tune, I think there's only like maybe one tune that deserves to be in the worst here. But he's horrible, because basically his ability makes it so that as you play, basically when you start a match, his ability will have, depending on if you have a max roster, will be up to 48% on. Actually, is it 40%? It actually might be 40%. I'll have to read fully. I think I keep on seeing a bunch of videos that make it like 48%. It is 48%. So basically, each tune alive gives you a 6% movement speed. I mean, not boost. Abstraction speed boost to the point where you can become a 5-star abstractor. Problem, and the main huge problem, if a tune dies or disconnects, because they're more likely to disconnect, you become nerfed. To the point where you do get a little bit extra bit of abstraction speed, because apparently the ability does count towards you being alive, which is pretty nice, but like that's all it does. Is basically it gives you an extra 6% abstraction speed. That's not worth it. I really feel like it depends on. I really feel this ability, if it would be better, if it like depends on how many generators on the floor, you get a max speed boost. Max speed boost. I think the max it should go up to is like maybe like the 48% still, but depending on how many generators there are, gives you like a maximum of like 3 speed boost. But I really do feel like it should be how many generators are on the map instead of being, oh, how many like people are alive. It's so I do think I do think he's the better starter tune. So I think he is a B tier, I mean bad tier, but I do think he is a lot worse. Brightney, if I'm not mistaken, Brightney is Brightney is weird. She has like four. She has 4 in extradition speed and stamina, but has 3 in skill check, 3 in movement speed. So she's not too well being a distractor, but not too bad at being a generator person. But the problem is with her is that she has 1 star in stealth, meaning basically if a twisted's like right next to you, it doesn't matter if you're right next to the toon or like 20 feet away from the toon, the twisted, you're basically being noticed. And her ability basically is not that good. This ability only works during a blackout, and basically it makes it so that you can, if you push it, you see where the twisteds are. Not terrible. Problem is, there's a toon that does its job way fucking better. Which, again, yes, I do understand why they did this. It's because it's basically you're supposed to play as her until you unlock that toon. And that's the whole reason why you play as her, is just to unlock one toon. But after you unlock that one toon, this toon is just, no, you basically never play as them ever again, which kind of sucks. Because Brightney is not a terrible toon. Does look cool. But problem is, her ability is not that useful, and her stats are kind of very weird. I do think she deserves to be in the bad tier, but not that good. Brusha, which is this other way, I think Brusha should go in here. But again, I have to read, because that's just again, I know a lot of people say that Brusha's bad, but I have to read, and I already know what Brusha does. Brusha has 4 in skill check, meaning she's not terrible at doing generators. She's actually is really decent, and has 3 extra distance speed, but has 2 stealth, having 3 in stamina and movement. She's basically just mostly a starter toon, but with 2 stealth. Her ability, let's just out of the way, her ability is not that good. Enter paint mode, which basically makes it so that toons give them a boost of 50 skill check boost while they remain in your circle. This toon moves 25% slower in paint mode. So her main job is supposed to be like, oh, she stands next to the toon. If a twisted runs by, she's meant to get them away. But problem is, she has to leave paint mode. But the paint mode, even when she's in paint mode, she's 25% slower, which is not good. Like, yeah, it has a 5-second cooldown, which isn't terrible for her ability, but still, I don't think this character is even worth being a toon. I think, yeah, again, they did try to buff the thing where, like, oh, if she uses one item, she busts her range, but it's not worth it. Connie, I don't remember Connie's stats. I don't even have Connie either. 3 skill check, 4 in extra distance speed, 5 in stealth, 3 in stamina, 1 movement speed. She's the slowest, I think one of the slowest toons in the entire game. And for some reason, she has very high speed generators and really good stealth. Problem is, her skill check is way too low for her to do her main job, which is to do generators. In my opinion, her ability is basically just a weaker smoke bomb, but doesn't work on lethals, which is dumb as fuck. Has a 50-second cooldown, which isn't terrible. It's just, eh. Again, I could be wrong. Connie could be, like, but I do think Connie's more of a meh, not worth it, but could be fun once in a while. Blue Mood. Cosmo is goes away. Actually, I think he's good tier. I think he's more good. I've not played as Cosmo. Cosmo is one of the 3 healers, so obviously that buffs him up to be in the high tiers. Oh, wow. What the fuck is your fucking thing? Holy what is this stat spread? Okay, he has stealth that's very high, which is pretty good, making me so that he doesn't get in Distractor's way of getting into twisteds. He has really good stamina, really decent movement, decent extradition speed. Problem is him doing generators. Again, you basically have to use V remote. Otherwise, you're basically never getting a skill check. Impersonation award is basically your best friend. That's basically it. His ability, obviously, basically, is the shortest healing ability in the game, but the downfall of that is that he has to use one of his health to heal others. That is the downfall of him. I still think he deserves to be good tier, because absolutely he's a good toon. But do I think he's the best healer in the game? Absolutely no. Finn. I think Finn's whole thing is that when he completes a generator, he gets a 33% speed boost. Yeah, 33% speed boost when a generator is completed. Doesn't matter if he completes it or if he completes it or if other toons complete it. He has really good skill check, which makes him a really decent distract. I mean, it's just what the fuck do people say? Distraction, but has really terrible stamina, and yes, has the only downfall of him is that his stamina is only 125. So if he's chased, he basically can be really easily get hurt. But I really think that's the only downfall of him. Do I think his ability doesn't really fully help him out? I do think the movement speed boost is like meh. I think if you had again, V's remote would be definitely your best friend. I do think I think he does belong in meh tier. Flutter. Let's get this out of the way. I really like Flutter. Flutter's not that good though. That's the problem with Flutter. Basically has 2 stars in extradition speed and skill check, so she's not meant to do generators. Has 10 stealth, 3 in stealth. Again, why does every distractor have 3? This is fucking retarded. Has really good movement speed and stamina, basically, and has a decent ability. Basically, it's a short dash that increases your movement speed for 0.75 seconds. Has a cooldown of 45. Not terrible. The only problem is that it's a selfish ability a lot of people have with her. But I think if you're distracting, you should have a selfish ability to keep you be able to do distractions, like Pebble, for example, who has a selfish ability which basically lowers his stealth to help out the team. But I think Flutter's main issue is that her stealth and not really able to, she feels like more of a backliner distractor, but problem is she can't really help her do generators. I do think she's more of a meh tier, but I don't think she deserves to be any higher than that. Gigi, I think Gigi is like one of the dog shit characters, if I'm not mistaken. Gigi has okay skill check, basically I think has 5 in the game. Having okay movement speed, terrible stamina, having okay stealth, okay extradition speed. Her ability is basically like this toon can get herself a random item from any tier dandy shop items, including. Problem is, you can either get yourself gumballs, or you can get yourself a med kit. So basically, she can become like the best character in the entire game, or she can become one of the worst characters in the game. I really do think she, and her skill check is like pretty nice. Her problem is her stamina. If her stamina was higher, like yes, you can raise this to become a 3 star, a little even close to a 4 star, because a 4 star is like 5 points less than what she can actually become if she do the whole two things. Problem is you have to survive the dial floor and you have to pick both sprint cards, which are not guaranteed to happen straight away. So I think she does belong in probably meh tier, because I really do think it depends if you get lucky with your RNG. Because she can either become the worst toon in the entire game or become the best toon in the entire game. I do think she becomes a meh. Glisten, I think if I'm not mistaken, his thing is that he teleports. He has okay extra distance speed, terrible skill checks, terrible stealth, okay stamina and movement speed. But his ability is basically this toon can teleport through a mirror. It's to teleport to the toon regardless of the line sight can be affected, causing him confusion 3 on himself and a cooldown of 100 seconds. That's the problem. Why does it cause confusion? Like, the 100 seconds is already a downfall enough on him. So, like, why do you have a nerf on him already? I also think his stat spread is just terrible. Like, nothing fully works. Like, he's supposed to do generators, but, like, it just doesn't really work. I do think he's kind of bad. Goob, depends on what Goob player you get. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Goob can be a really good distractor, especially since he only has 2 stars. 2 stars in stealth, meaning that he doesn't have to worry as much on losing the twisteds. Problem is with Goob is he's not meant to be the main distractor, and the problem with him is that he can't really back up generators that well. He does have 3 stars, which it does skill checks matter more than extra distance speed. Problem is that you're not really going to do him that much. His ability is actually not terrible. Basically, this toon can pull himself towards other toons. Problem is he can pull other toons near him, which basically means like if a toon's like about to get hit, he can push them away from the twisted. Or if they're about to leave and if the elevator's about to close, he can save the toon in the last minute. But that's the only 2 uses I can ever think of that this ability could be useful. It is pretty decent. It's not a terrible ability. It's not as terrible as the other toon we're about to talk about. But I do think that is pretty useful. I think if he had... I think he's okay. I don't think he's terrible. Looney, let's go the other way. I think he belongs in good tier. Basically, he's meant to become a distractor. He basically has really good skill checks. I mean, he can do generators. He has 2-star stealth, so he doesn't have to worry about the same problems the other distractors have to worry about. He has stamina, but again, if you pick up the dial card plus the 2 other cards, you can increase that to basically almost having almost a 5-star. Actually, I think a little bit over the 5-star a little bit. His main benefit is his ability. Basically, for each heart he misses, gains a 20% movement and walking speed multiplier. Oh, I thought it was stamina as well, but nope. At 2 hearts, again, you get that, and then obviously he can go higher than this if he had more than that health. And then obviously when he gets healed, he gets reduced back to his other movement speed. And basically this is why I miss talking about that he can become faster than Pebble. And I do think he's good. Problem with him is that you have to hurt yourself to become really good. That's the problem with him. I do think he is a really good backer distractor, but he should not be your absolute main backliner. Definitely think he deserves that. Poppy, let's get this out of the way. Poppy deserves horrible. Her ability is that basically when she gets hit, she gets a 3 sec. I guess I think it's like a 30-second speed boost for like 3 seconds or something like that. I think that's how what it works like. If I'm not mistaken. It's 50%. It's out of the way. It's a lot higher than I thought it was. 50 seconds for 3 seconds. Yeah, it's still not good. It's terrible. She's basically basically the only reason why you play as her is to unlock Looney. Which I guess the only reason why is because they're both kind of balloon-likey, but one's a bubble and one's a balloon. I think the only other reason why I can think of is because, again, it does say in the wiki that they're also good friends. Why you won't have to play as her to unlock Looney. But yeah. Razzle Dazzle just meh. Basically they're basically almost a starter toon, but not really, because basically on even floors, I believe it's like speed. Odd floors, I believe it's generator speed, if I'm not mistaken. Even floors, yeah, I was correct. Even floors, movement speed become basically like one of the fastest toons. The only other toon that outspeeds it, I believe, is, again, Looney. Or becomes, or I don't know, on odd floors it's movement speed. On even floors it's generator speed. Basically becoming one of the best generator peep speed, or one of the best movement speed people. You basically put this person in the backliner for doing a backliner. Basically, I would not, again, they're fine. They're basically meh. Depends on what strategy you want to do with them. Roger, it depends. If you're in like the late game where you have basically almost everything done, he's absolute horrible. But if you're early game / mid game, I do think he deserves to be meh to be okay. I think he belongs more in meh, in my opinion. Let's get it out of the way. Horrible. And they didn't even try. Like this one, they at least were flat out admitting to guys, we're making a character completely dog shit so you could have a challenge. Straps, they want you to actually play this toon and actually love it. No, it's terrible. She's like one of the terrible toons. Basically only players are just to unlock one toon, and that's really it. They skill check 2, extra distance speed 3 for some god awful reason. Stealth 3, which it should really be 4. Don't know why it's so fucking kind of low. And movement speed for some reason is also 2 when it should be like 4. I don't understand why stealth couldn't. I don't understand why this toon has such high stamina when it has terrible movement speed. And her only saving grace, you would think, would be, okay, maybe she has a really useful ability, right? Her ability's dog shit. Basically, just you can like grapple onto toons and generators and push yourself towards them, which is dog shit. Like absolutely. And originally, to unlock Goob, you had to originally 100 complete her to unlock Goob. They changed it to eventually you don't have to like complete 3 of her mastery, but still, like she's still dog shit. She deserves a complete rework in my opinion. Like a rework and stat change as well. Stat change as well. I'm trying to think of a saving grace for a character. The only thing I can think of is that, oh, she's at least cute. But cuteness doesn't save the issue. Hey, you can't go in there. You know what happened last time. Do you want to leave, Mr. Cotty? Mr. Cotty, do you want to leave, Mr. Cotty? Here you go, Mr. Cotty. Bye, Mr. Cotty. Like, that's the only saving grace I can think of her. Is that she's kind of cute, at least. But I definitely think if you want to torture yourself, play as her. Holy fuck. At least the benefit she can actually be, she's actually playable. Shrimpo, I have to put Shrimpo in bad, but not horrible, because horrible or worse, because they are fully admitted that this character is bid to be a challenge character. That's its only saving grace. Tegan, basically 75 tapes. I think depending on how many Tegans you have, it goes up higher or something like that. Is that true? Or am I making shit up? I feel like I'm making shit up on that last part. I was making this shit up. It does not go up higher depending on how many Tegans. Basically, this has 75 tapes to heal herself by 1 health, but it has a cooldown of 100 seconds. Her stats, I don't understand her stats at all. All I could think of is she's meant to be like a distractor, but her problem is that she doesn't have enough movement speed to become a distractor. Her stealth would be amazing. I really only can see her as maybe as a backliner distractor, and that's really it. I don't ever see her as being a as really like anything else. Not like I can't see her as anything else. But she's good if you're playing solo player. If you're playing solo, I absolutely do recommend you playing. She would actually probably be okay. But since, again, this game is meant to be a teamwork game, she's more of a meh. Tisha, actually, Tisha's okay. I think after a bunch of characters plus a bunch of new items, she's become more of a okay toon, not a good toon. Basically, has really high skill check, really high movement, meh, terrible stealth. But again, obviously, if you do the dial floor / 2 of the you can get basically almost to 5 stars. Has decent stealth. It has meh extra distance speed, but again, obviously, if you're not playing as a toon that again, skill checks matter a little bit more than extra distance speed. Her ability is basically why you want to play as her. This toon can create a pulse that increases movement speed for 20 of toons around her by 25% for 5 seconds. For 50 seconds, has a 50-second cooldown. Not a terrible movement speed item that basically starts the match and all that. Problem is, there's been so many toons that do her job so much better that she's basically been obsolete, which is just sad. I still think she's a good toon, but I don't. Toodle's absolute fucking horrible. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking here, but this toon is, no, absolutely. She's meant to be the gambler toon as well, where she has an ability that, by the way, 15% is not true at all. It's more like 12%. It does not feel like 50% for 10 seconds. her stats are also just don't make any sense. It doesn't even work as like, oh, she's Pebble, because none of her stats have anything to do that's similar to Pebble. I don't even understand why you have to play as her. Her ability doesn't work. Her ability is not even equal to Pebble. Her stats don't even equal Pebble at all. And she's basically just a gambling toon that you basically have fun with. Maybe the lucky coin is like a gag, ha ha ha. But I can't think of a reason why you ever have to play this character to unlock like one of the best toons in the game. I don't understand. Basically, you play as her just to get her, just to unlock Pebble. Maybe you'll play her once in a while as with that one item as a haha gag, and that's really it. Yada, let's get this out of the way. She's like one of the best characters in the game. Her main issue is her stamina, and that is mainly her main issue with her. I basically found like barely any other issues with Yada. Let me delete these two. It's just her stamina. Her stealth, again, because of the two islands, she can basically become almost a 4-star stamina person and basically become your backliner for distracting. But basically, you want to use her as mainly as your generator person. And also, her ability is actually really busted. Basically, if she gets hit or if she does a generator, she gets 2 candies. If she gets hit, she gets 4. And basically, the chart is basically this. This is what you get. Besides, the only item that doesn't drop is obviously the Bud, which is only created by, obviously, Coco. And basically, you have a very likelihood of getting a chocolate box. A 5.88% chance, basically making your odds really good at getting a chocolate box. And basically here, the stamina candy and chocolate are fucking busted. The only downfall is obviously the stealth candy and the gumballs. They're basically the most useless two you'll get. But besides that, Yada is busted. She's also really good if you use the one chocolate bag item. She's like really fucking good. I absolutely think she is a the only I do think I think maybe good. Her main downfall again is her stamina. If you do the whole things, she can become really fucking good. Astro, I think his main issue is that he's supposed to be a support toon, if I'm not mistaken. A support toon with really good stealth. The main problem with him is that his skill check is a lot lower than it should be. His ability, basically this toon can create a pulse that restores stamina toon around him, have a 60-second cooldown. This toon regens stamina 50% faster and can see toons below 50% stamina around the map and can see above 50. Ugh, my bad. Basically, not terrible. He's really made to be a support toon for stamina, but that's really it. I can't really think of any other reason why you would play as Astro, but just stay. I think he's okay. Basti. Do I need to mention the only toon that can drop items? That's instantly fucking instantly S tier, and can actually have can hold up to 4 items. 4 items. I think. I gotta check if she has another ability. I think she might have a second ability, but I think her abilities are just basically that she can hold up to 4 items. This toon can drop items from her inventory straight them from other toons. This item can base herself with an extra item spot for carrying 1 extra item. Yeah, basically that's her abilities. She's really good. She can even help. She can even become a distractor herself. Problem is her stealth. I think really badly what should happen is that 2 of her stars for stealth should go to skill check. I think that's her main issue, but I think the only 2 that can drop items, she's basically as main support. I think mainly good makes more sense for her. But Baudette, let's just give this away. She's bad. Fucking God. She's not horrible, but she's not. And again, her buffs have helped her to the point where there's a new meta now for her. New meta for her. But in my opinion, I still think she's bad. Basically, her stats that she has really good skill check, really good stamina, okay movement, terrible aggression speed, and decent stealth. If she had a little bit more movement, she could have been a good backliner for thing. Her present ability is just, again, a lot of people have found a bunch of jank with it, so I can't say anything because I don't have her. And unfortunately, I probably won't be able to get her this year. I'll probably have to wait till next Christmas, unfortunately, to get her. Kind of sucks. But, again, I can't really pick whether this game fucking likes me or not. And then her other ability, let's get it out of the way, it's not that good. It's good. It has gotten buffed to the point where it's now useful. And especially now, if toons leave it, they actually get it for 5 seconds, which is pretty good. They get a nerf Tisha buff from it. It's actually pretty good. I do think, if anything, I actually kind of might make her a meh. Gordy. The only reason why I'm not making Gordy absolutely S tier is because, again, the bunch of Gordy players I have seen, this toon is, again, this toon is really good if you pick up the dial card and the 2 stealth card, the stamina cards, because this basically becomes like your best person to do generators, your best person to do distraction, and basically everything. He also gets, no joke, a ability to boost other toons by 20%, a random stat bust. That's not the problem with it, but it has a cooldown of 35 seconds, so we basically can keep on redoing it over and over again. And he gives every toon, including himself, a 20% speed boost for leaving a generator, for leaving the elevator, and opening when the panic mode has begun. Basically, fucking busted. I think the only reason why, again, I will be ranking him lower is because of the stamina. I think that's his main issue. If his stamina was a little bit higher, instantly S tier. But I think because of stamina and you having to pick those cards, that's why. And him only having 2 health because of that low stamina. Shelly, if I'm not mistaken, she's also should be S tier or something. I think she should be S tier or something. Has really good extra speed. I mean, skill check, decent everything else but stamina, which isn't a huge problem because she only needs to pick up like 2 of those cards, and then basically she has almost 3 stars. Her ability is basically what's going on. She gets this 2 gains a 25% movement speed boost when the machine is completed for 10 seconds. She basically has Finn's ability but a little bit weaker, and she can boost toons to do like a 75% for 15 seconds of doing a generator more faster. So instantly fucking busted. V, this is what I mean by you're basically only play Brightney until you unlock V. I think V is more good than actually big because of her stealth, if I'm not mistaken. Her stealth was is super low. Yeah, her stealth is 2, and her movement is also 2. I really think what should have really happened is that they should have taken a star in stamina and put that into movement, because you can work with 125 stamina. Again, it's possible. But I think again, she is pretty good. Her 2 abilities are very good. Highlights, Twisteds, and machines on the floor for 5 seconds have a cooldown of 50 seconds. That's why it's more busted. It highlights machines for your team members. A way better useful thing. And her passive is actually really useful for herself. She highlights 2 of the machines next to her. And basically it changes color depending on if someone's worked on the machine. If someone's working on the machine, or if someone's not working on the machine. It will be green if someone's not working on the machine. It will be white if someone's working on the machine. The other toon that basically has a similar ability where you can see where generators are is, I believe, Scratch. Problem is that her ability doesn't tell you if it's someone's being worked on it or if it's complete. That's her problem as well. But basically, V is really good. I think the only problem with V is that her 2 health, and obviously her weird middle stats are kind of weird in a way. Ugh. Rudy! Is this actually... Nope, never mind. We have 3 more starter toons. Holy fuck. I should have started off with the starter toons and get them out of the way. Rudy, I want to rank him so much higher than what a lot of people would say. But I think I have to rank Rudy as okay. Maybe in meh tier. But I think I'm going to rank Rudy as okay, because basically he gets Flutter's ability, but a shorter cooldown and a shorter distance. And basically has, like, the only problem I have with Rudy is that because he has stats of all metal, like all basic tier, you have to, like, basically use certain items to make him either built on what you want to do. But I still think he's really decent. I think for the best, he's definitely like the best starter toon. So since I play him as my main, I love Rudy. Well, I do think Rudy's in. I also wanted to do another video because I did see that other thing where you basically a bunch of Rudy skins. I kind of want to rank that as well. If I have enough time. This video is going on by a lot longer than I thought it was. I thought this video was gonna be like a lot shorter. Ginger. Well, I think Ginger is basically just Sprout, but has a basically almost a starter toon thing, but basically lowers her movement speed for stealth. Her ability is basically like Sprout's, but increases health to full, which basically makes her even better than Sprout. Problem is that the range is way too fucking small now. Originally her range was across the whole fucking map, but they decided to nerf it and make it so that you have to be right next to the toon to heal them. Which, because of how dumb the AIs can be, sometimes you'll heal a toon that you weren't even trying to heal. I think that's absolutely the fucking dog shit system, and I really do think she deserves another rework. I'm sorry. I think she really deserves another rework. I don't think she's that good. I think she is still okay, but I think she definitely deserves a rework. Again, her ability's not that good. Sylvester! I really badly want to say he's really good. Not only is he a light-producing toon, and immune to Ichor leaks, has 4 health, having really good generator and repairment speed, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, regenerator, skill check speed, and extradition speed, and decent stealth. Problem is, his movement and stamina are the worst in the entire fucking game. Like, imagine Connie, but with not the good stamina, and you basically have Sylvester. Like, again, his benefit is that he is immune to range attacks. He has immune to Ichor. He's really good he's a light producing toon. Has 4 health, and has really good skill check and extradition speed. The absolute problem with him is his fucking movement. His stamina you can increase because of the whole, again, obviously, the Again, dial shit, plus the 2/1 cards. So stamina is not a huge issue. His movement is absolute the problem, and you can't really... And it's supposed to be the tank. And basically, yes, you basically want to increase his things, but I think if it wasn't for his low movement, he would definitely be like okay to really good. But because of his movement, I have to rank him meh. One of the last starter tunes I have to talk about. Thank fucking Christ. Holy fuck, I'm tired of talking about starter tunes. Basically, let's get this out of the way. I'm ranking her good. I'm ranking her okay. Again, I understand a lot of people have already found out that she's not as good as what her ability says it is. It makes it immune to all debuffs in the game, which is fucking awesome. Problem is, her stats is what mainly it. She's not... You can't really create her to become anything... You can create her to become whatever you want, but you can't really do that with ability. Like, the reason why the other ones are so much better is because the other ones, you can at least turn their ability into a way of how you want to create them into a certain way. Her, you really can't do that. And I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly or not, but yeah, you really can't do anything. I really do think she's okay, but I don't think she's as good. I kind of want to rank Gigi lower. I kind of really want to rank a couple of these characters lower, actually. Yeah, we'll rank a couple of these characters lower. I think you deserve lower. I think you deserve lower. I think you deserve lower. You actually deserve okay, actually. I think you actually deserve okay as well. I think Roger's fine being there. You know, a lot of people, that's going to piss off a lot of people, but I think... I can't really say that Roger's okay when... After you unlock every single Twisted to 100%, what's the point of him? He has like one really good stat, which is that he's really good in extradition speed, but his movement is fucking flat out terrible. I can't really say that he's like the best toon because of that. Finn, I actually would say is lower. I don't think he's that good actually. I think that's fine. I think that's a good, decent change. I want to rank a little bit of these guys lower a little as well. Who deserves to be a little lower? The ones I already put here. I think all of them are actually fine up here. Kind of want to rank you lower, but I feel like horrible is the perfect spot for you. I think that's fine, yeah. I'll change the order of how I feel depending on which tier. I do think Toodles is better than Poppy. But I do think what's my next one? Flutter or Flutter. Again, sorry for mispronouncing this tune. I can't really speak. I'm also, by the last one was Rebecca, if you didn't know. I forgot to mention that yes, the last tune we talked about was Rebecca. I do know I do know the name of the tunes. I just don't know how to really pronounce this one. Basically, I can't even fucking say anything with this tune. His stat spread is basically just like, let's make Strat's spreadsheet, but make it look good. And that's what they did. They gave it really good movement, really good extradition speed, terrible fucking stealth, stamina, and terrible skill check. You basically can't do either one of the two jobs, and has 3 stealth, which again, I've already mentioned with the other twos that have 3 stealth that's meant to be a distractor, that basically makes his job a super harder. The only saving grace is that his dash ability has a extra buff where if after you using the dash, it gives a cloud of dust that lasts for like 5 seconds. That gives Toons a boost of movement speed. But it only lasts for 5 seconds, and then after 5 seconds, it's gone. It's bye bye. Like it's like he's fine. I really do think his stat spread really holds him fucking back. I think his ability is really good. His stat spread is terrible. I really kind of put him in horrible. But his ability kind of saves him really badly to the point where I think he deserves bad. I'll fix this tier later. What's the next one? Eggson? Oh yeah, we get the final Eggson, the last starter toon. Thank God. Let's just get that out of the way. I already know. Problem is his ability is basically just a weaker wrench, and I think you can only do it. I think it's a weaker wrench. I think you can either this toon can hit a machine with his cane when he first from it gets 10. This can be only used once per machine. Like, yeah, you get 10% of machine done with instantly per machine. Like, you can get 10% of a machine, but you only do it once per machine, and you can do every machine. Problem is, 10% is like fucking nothing. You can get better percent if you just use the wrench or just use V's remote. It's just terrible, like absolutely terrible. And I absolutely think if it wasn't for Poppy, he would be probably the worst toon in the game. But yeah, worst starter toon in the game. Okay, let's just have this way. Fucking absolutely, I think deserves S tier. I mean, good tier. I gotta check her stats before I say anything. Yeah, it's her stealth. Her stealth kind of lowers. But I guess she's meant to be a supporter and not meant to be a distractor. I think that's the reason why. Her stealth, her stamina, we already mentioned that basically that's not a huge problem because of Dan Dial and also the 2 cards. I've already mentioned that's not a huge issue. Unless you have like 1 star, it's not a huge big issue to only have 2. Her extra distance speed only being 2 is kind of bad when she only has 3 skill checks. Her movement speed is really good, and her stealth is really good. She's meant to be a support. She's meant to walk around, become a support, summon and buns. The problem is, she can only put 1 bun down until eventually someone picks it up. And basically, this boosts extra distance speed and movement speed by 25%, and 50% for extra speed and 25% for second. Basically, you can either pick. Do you want to use this as a getaway chase in a chase, or do you want to use this to get a generator done with really quick? It's a really useful item, and she really has decent stats. I do think she does belong here. Okay, now it's the fun part. Fixing the tier list to be actually what I absolutely want to be. Okay, we already fixed this one. We're making Stretch. At least she's playable. That's why she belongs top. This, I think Toodles is not as bad as Poppy. This tier. I think he's the best in the tier, and I'm not gonna lie. If you get lucky, she actually can be useful. useful. Finn's not terrible. Eggson could be useful, but again, his ability's fucking kind of useless. Boxen, I think, is better than Eggson, actually. Connie could be useful if it wasn't for her, I think, awful movement speed, and I think her awful, skill check. If I'm not mistaken again. Brightney, I think, is better than Cole. Brusha, I think, is worse than all of these. I think for single players, you're better than Cole and Brightney. Shrimpo, obviously. I have to rank Shrimpo as the worst one here, unfortunately. Brusha belongs here, and this tier, I think, basically, I think this is perfect, actually. I think just lower these two. These two could be easily flipped, in my opinion. Depends on my mood. I think you're fine. This tier, I think, Goob is actually I think these two could be easily switched. He's fine being there. Rudy is fine being here. You are fine being here. Actually, I think you are better than all these guys, yeah. I think Flutter could be easily be better than Rebecca. Are you better than Ginger? Yeah, I think you're better than Ginger. I think this is going to be the huge problem. I think you are better than Cos. Actually, no, I think Cosmo's better. I think that you're fine being there. Yada is, I think, actually, nah, you should be here. These two could easily be switched. You absolutely should be actually at top. What the fuck am I thinking? Actually, you're way better than Cosmo. V, I don't think V is the weakest here. I think it might be Yada, unfortunately. I'm going to have to say that. I think you're right here, actually. And then up here, again, Pebble's fine. I think this is fine. Again, I can't really think of which one's better than out of these three. It really depends on what your main group is. I think that's really it. That is the tier list, in my opinion, for right now. Obviously, these are based on me reading the restrictions. Obviously, a lot of these tunes could be absolutely a lot more useful if I absolutely try to play as them. A lot of these tunes I know for sure would be a lot worser if I absolutely can try them. I think a lot of people are probably gonna be a little bit mad they put Sylvester and Matt here above all those other characters. But I really do think in certain situations he could be useful. And I don't think that stamina is as badly as what people say it is. I think really his main problem was his movement speed. I think that's really it. I think the only other tier list I want to do until I think the Easter event before, and that's like another 3 month before I rank like basically items / tunes again based on me playing and all that. A lot of these are probably gonna piss off a lot of people. I think the only other tier list I want to do before we end this off. Let's open this in a new tab. Dandy's World, and I think I saw one about Rudy's skins, if I'm not mistaken. Is there one with Rudy skins? If I'm not mistaken? Yep, Rudy skins. Okay, we're gonna do this tier list just for fun, little gag. Obviously, my favorite outfit is obviously. I still like this outfit a lot more than I like this outfit. I do think these outfits could be either interchangeable. They're super fucking good. I think think I actually really like the color scheme of this one. You know, a lot of people don't really like it that much. I like the color scheme. It's pretty cute looking. Blue is 5. This is 6, and this is 6, and that's basically the tier list. I think gold is my favorite. I love it. I think my only downfall of the gold skin is unlocking it, in my opinion. The other one, the only reason why I didn't rank it higher is because, you know, you don't have to. It's not bullshit to unlock. Is because it's 200 Robux. The other skin, again, I like it. It's like one of my favorites. The blue skin. The only problem I have with it is that the reason why it's 4 and not higher than 3, or not on 3, is because every single time I try to play the outfit, it never fully loads properly. Obviously, I love basic Rudy, and obviously again, obviously the old toon skin is not bad. It's just a basic recolor. That's why it's basically here. Because at least with these two, they at least gave it like arm, wrist, and a scarf to make these at least unique. And his nose changes color from red to blue. Which makes me really want to kind of rank this one higher. Yeah, I'm going to rank the higher because of the nose. Because the nose is a lot more useful than... I think his nose glowing in different colors is actually very useful. Because it doesn't make people think it's either Brightney or Twisted Rudy if it's the event. I actually really think I should rank basic Rudy lower than because of that. That's makes me want to really badly kind of change this to be like this instead. I still think this is absolutely a good outfit, but I think because of the nose, it makes this outfit a little bit more useful. And I think that is it. I think that's my list for everything. Basically, I will probably do an update of this list during the Easter event. And then I'll probably make one last one unless there's been a huge change in like a new update or new ticket. I really don't know, but I guess see you next rank video in Easter. That gives it at least 3-month break, right? Right?